It is 11:19 in the morning on January 21st, 2021. Notice I didn't say December 21st because I'm not in the future anymore. Okay, the reason I did the little spin around like that, I was focusing so I could come around and show what my office door looks like when you come through the shop over there, and it's got a sign on it saying, "Do not turn off my computer, thank you." I'll explain that in a minute. Before I get too far along, I now have, I think, 27 subscribers and a new one, KAHRS 777. Thank you for joining the family here. The only reason I do this channel is for family and friends. I have no doubt whatsoever I will never make any money off of YouTube. It's just not going to happen. I'm not controversial enough, and sometimes I'm too controversial. To my new subscriber, I am a Christian, practicing Christian, love Jesus with all my heart. I'm unapologetic about that. To give you a little background on me, this is, and I'll tell you about this setup. I'm in. Through that wall is a workshop. It's a portable building that we made permanent, and on through that shop is another little office that my oldest son has. You will hear chickens, you will hear roosters, you will hear ducks, you will hear dogs. I do a national radio show on Spreaker and 2 other channels that you have to pay to listen to, and the free version is on Spreaker.com. If you ever want to listen, you just go to Spreaker, SPREAKER.com, and they got a little magnifying glass, and you click on that, and you type in Tuklo Nashoba, TUKLONASHOBA. And I made a statement that is very true, and my wife and I discussed that this morning before I came out here to the office to work. And I call my show Tuklo Nashoba, live from the barnyard, because through there we got a gazillion chickens and 2, 3, 4 roosters and a whole bunch of ducks and 2 or 3 male ducks. I think they're called drakes. That way we got a sheep and a bunch of goats, and we got 5 rescue dogs here. And the dogs are going off because there's a crew out by the road, on the road at the front of our property. We have a gate, we have a long driveway, and they've got one of those brush hogs that's a side boom, and they're trimming trees all down the road. They do that about once or twice a year. Got to get a sip. I get a little more radical on my radio show because that's where I make my extra money. To my new subscriber, I'm a retired forensic analyst with the Defense Intelligence Agency. Sounds fancy. It's not. I'm just good at figuring out puzzles, or at least I used to be before I retired. I'm an old man. I have a lot of pain issues, had a lot of blunt force trauma to my body, a lot of wounds that are healed for the most part. I have health issues like everybody else. I keep close tabs on the virus and what it's doing. That's my cheat sheet, and I read that on the radio program every day because I have friends that listen to the program and they want to know what's going on. So I do that. My wife told me something. I've really never actually worried or been greatly concerned about adding to subscribers on my YouTube channel here because I'll never make money off of it. I know that. It's not something that I'm trying to develop into a business. I do this channel just to keep up with family and friends. And now you're part of that family and friends. I gotta get another sip. One of the other things I used to do, and I'm currently going to restart this afternoon, is I write books. The book I was working on, I did not save to one of these, which is a flash drive, which is stupid on my part. I will from now on, I promise you. One of these is here somewhere. It has BD on the back of it, which stands for boot disc. I'll get around to that in a minute. Used to write books, have 43 books I've written, 11 of them have been published. That, I don't know if you can see it or not, is to me from Amazon. I deleted the address, and it's got Tuckle on a Shovel on there. What they're trying to do is get me to go ahead and subscribe to a service they've got to sell my books. I don't want to. And it's not like on YouTube when someone clicks on an advertisement on your channel, then so many of those add up somehow to a magic number and you get paid from YouTube. No, what Amazon wants to do is every time someone clicks on the ad, I have to pay them. I'm not interested. I just thought I'd pass that along. It's a little thing that interested me. About the sign on my door. Day before yesterday, my son Benjamin and I were rerouting some stuff to hook up the electricity to his new water heater he bought in his mobile. We've got a breaker box through there, and we were checking breakers and turn them off, and I accidentally turned the one off to this office, and what it did, it shut my computer down. I'll show you that real quick with the smiley face. That's my computer. Now that is a custom built computer that was built expressly for me. If I had to get one built right now, I don't know what it would cost, and it didn't cost me very much to have it built. A good friend of mine did it for me. Normally it would have been, and this is a few years ago, it had been about $8,000 to build it. Right now I don't know what it would be. The reason it costs so much is it's item specific, and the amount of memory in that thing, random access memory, is in immeasurable amounts of tetrabytes, not gigabytes. A lot of people, well, that's just BS. No, it's not, unfortunately. I have another one down there under a table that I'm going to take to a friend of mine and have him retrofit it with some stuff. He's a good computer tech. He doesn't need any more business, and I'm not going to say who he is, but my buddy Jerry or Jerry's wife Diane, she uses the same guy to service their computers for their business. The reason I no longer do, but the reason I needed that massive monster sitting on my desk was I had a consulting business. I'm really actually pretty much retired now. I'm old and worn out. But like I stated, and this is to a lot of kin folks and friends watching this. My wife was worried when I went to the dam, my buddy Jerry's building yesterday, and I came across his sweetheart. I won't name her name on here. My friends know her name, but I don't want to embarrass her in case somebody harasses her about it. But she was in her car and I was in my old van, and I stopped. It's a big old conversion van. It's a big truck. And I stopped, and she had just talked with her husband, and she rolled her window down and road. She asked how I was doing. I said, fine. She asked how my wife was doing. I said, she's doing better. She said, good. And I asked how she is doing, and she cut her eyes and said, well, and I said, you worried about this election? Yes. I never thought he'd actually get elected and be sworn in. Every time I think about it, I cry. And I said, don't. Well, how can you say that? Well, the reason I can say that is what I'm telling you right now. Rest easy. God is large and in charge. He's got this. We don't know the mind of God. We can study Scripture and hear and read what He wants us to know and understand, but He's God. There are mortal men and women that claim they know the mind of God, and they claim that they're prophets right now, and they're all over the place, all over the internet, all over YouTube, saying what God told them this and God told them that. My suggestion to everybody is this. If you can get on your knees and supplicate God, do so. I can't get on my knees. I could, but even with pillows, the pain is too great. I've got severely damaged legs. That's why I use a walking cane and sometimes 2 walking canes. But I do bow my head and I approach my Creator as humbly as I can be, and most of the time what I'm really doing is thanking Him for everything I have. And though in the eyes of the world I do not have a lot, I've got a lot more physically than a lot of people, and I thank Him for that, and I pray for others. I do it every day. Almost all through the day, I'm praying for other people. Prayer is the most powerful weapon God has given us as mere mortals. It really is. And until you try it, and you try it in an honest fashion, just a second. Allergies are driving me crazy again today. Until you try it in an honest fashion, and you know, it's just as important, the praying part is just as important, to be still and listen for the return. You know, Socrates was an ancient philosopher, and he made a statement one time that has been repeated by many, many people: be still and learn. And that is a true statement right there. You can learn more if you are just quiet and contemplative. I've learned that in my old age. You know, the sun rose today. It's a little overcast out there. The sun sat last night. Tomorrow it'll rise again. And if in some way the sun does not rise for you tomorrow and you're dead, something happens and you're no longer mortal, that is actually a joyous occasion, because you get to go home and be with your heavenly family. And I absolutely believe that. I lost my dad December 11th. This year. I think that's when it happened. I'm pretty sure it is. He died from COVID-19. And he was a very spiritual man. He really was. And he was a caretaker. He cared for and helped anybody he could as long as I've known him. And that sounds strange, but that's truth. That is the truth. My mom, Lori, his widow, my birth mother died a few years ago, but I love Lori just as much as I love my mother. And that is a true statement there too. And she knows it. She's mom to me now. She's a very giving and caring individual. Absolutely. I know this for a fact. You can do more by being kind. You can do more for yourself by being kind. You can do more for others by being kind than anything else you can do. And kindness many times can just be praying for someone, but it can also be, you know, someone in need and you have something you can fill that need with, you fill it. I do not have riches. I do not have a lot of money. But I have an income coming in every month. I'm retired, and my wife and I both are retired. And from the extra income I get by doing radio and other business concerns I do, I make sure that I send money to organizations in different places that it makes a difference. Because I can't get out physically and do it. I've had too much blunt force trauma to my body. It's all I can do to get up and move. It's not just due to me being fat, and I promise you that. It's due to a lot of things that happened to me that I wish hadn't. But I'm older and I know better than to do a lot of the things I used to do now. That's pretty much the vlog for today. I've got to get ready to do the upload of this vlog, and then while it's uploading, I'll be doing my podcast, my radio broadcast that I have to pre-record, and then I ship it off, and then they distribute it. Today is a new day from yesterday, and rather than be hostile and really angry and saying unkind things and being angry with Biden and all his administration, all his crew, a better thing to do would be to pray for him. Pray that God will get his attention and that he'll make decisions that God approves of. Even if he doesn't do that, you've got to remember one thing, one final thing. God is large and in charge. Rest easy. That's my words for today. Love all of you. God bless you. And I've got to get off of here and get to work. Bye.